Time now for Westplex News. Spotlight on the candidate, the first of many informational interview segments with candidates for the upcoming November election. Today we have with us a Democratic candidate for the Missouri 2nd District Congressional seat, Mr. Arthur Lieber. First of all, welcome, Arthur, to the airwaves.
Thanks, John. It's a pleasure to be here.
A key to the Lieber campaign is practicing the process. This means trying to live by the standards you set with rhetoric. Explain.
Well, an example would be that there are a number of politicians who are concerned about the role that money plays in politics. It comes out of one side of their mouth, and then out of the other side of their mouth, they're asking for money from a number of people. I've found that it's just easier, cleaner, and I'm more comfortable with the idea of not accepting contributions. And I believe that really is a way of practicing the point of trying to clean up politics while not, getting myself in situations where there could be conflict of interest or any number of other problems that arise with money and politicians.
It's no secret that money is required to win campaigns, and this stance you're taking, Arthur, could put you at a severe disadvantage. Obviously, you're running against a well-established incumbent in Congressman Aiken. What is your approach?
I would like to think that the media sees a contrast. We have had, as I said, a number of politicians who have talked about trying to get money out of politics. If I can live by the standards that I set, in two ways. One would be with not taking money, and two would be trying to elevate the conversation. Hopefully, that is a contrast that the media is interested in. And it's a tough thing, I know, for you and for others in the media, because are you interested, in a story where someone is trying to do things differently, and because he or she is not spending a whole lot of money, I need to ride on the back of people in the media who hopefully can spread the word about my candidacy.
Obviously, some money will be required to run a campaign. How do you intend to come up with those funds then?
That's correct. Well, I am self-funding to the extent of $30,000, perhaps $40,000. And I think self-funding has somewhat of a negative connotation. We have John Corzine, who was a senator and governor from New Jersey, and one election he spent $67 million of his own money. With the John Kerry campaign, we had quite a bit of money coming from his wife. So yes, you're absolutely right. I need to print some materials. I need to do research and so forth. So we're figuring we can do this in the range of $30,000 to $40,000.
Arthur, you worked for 40 years in the embattled St. Louis Public School District. Obviously, education is something very close to your heart. When we talk about the issues, what are some of the first priorities when it comes to education?
Actually, I only taught in the St. Louis Public Schools for a year, but I've worked for a number of years. I was co-founder of an independent school in the city of St. Louis and director for 15 years. And then our nonprofit has worked with a number of schools in the city. I think one of the problems is that we are so top-heavy on administration. And, there was a time when I think things really, where education went well because of the fact that we had individuals who were willing to just be creative and to go out on their own and, really try and look out for the best interests of the students. I think right now, we are so controlled by administration, by bureaucracy, that kids are kind of like, near the end in terms of what happened. So there's not a simple answer. I think we've got to have tremendous turnover in terms of the people who are teaching. I think that we need to make curiosity a primary motivator for students rather than fear. All of this is, these are the kinds of problems that I think we can't look at in solving for this school year or the next. We have to look in terms of generational change. And I think that one of the problems, additionally, that we have in education is we're so focused on testing, which is a way of trying to measure the here and now, and we don't change that way. And education, in fact, may not be an area that really lends itself to measurement. It's more intuitive, it's more subjective, and I think we need to be honest about that.
One of your statements, in a vibrant democracy, government serves the needs of all the people. You feel a certain segment of the populace is being left out of this process?
That would be correct. It will vary from time to time, but I think people who don't have access to capital, who don't own a lot of property, people who have not had the education that we'd like for everyone to have, people who have not had access access to appropriate health care. I think many of them have been left out, and that we have an obligation to do everything that we can for everyone else. And I believe in John Kennedy's statement that a rising tide lifts all ships. And so that whenever we do anything for the least among us who are capable of taking care of themselves now, in the long run, we're going to wind up helping everyone, including those who are well off now.
Another one of your goals, Arthur, is to elevate the conversation.
That is correct. I think that politics has become too dominated by slogans and simple sayings. In our campaign, everything that we are printing is something that conveys information. I hope to be able to announce shortly some novel ideas that we have to bring citizens together and share their ideas in a way that's very civilized and enriches our whole society.
Thank you, Arthur.
Thank you.
The first of many candidates will spotlight on our Meet the Candidates section on Westplex News at noon. Arthur Lieber, Missouri's 2nd Congressional District Democrat, running against Todd Akin in the upcoming November election. Westplex News at noon on a Thursday. Now this.